Today, we are diving into a really powerful story about what happens when all those quiet internal rules you've grown up with suddenly slam into the loud, messy reality of a new city. It's a story about facing fear, not on some epic battlefield, but in that silent space between your own footsteps on a solo trip to the mall. This one sentence, right here, it's the key to everything. This is the unwritten rulebook that has quietly guided the author, Aarohi's entire life. We're not talking about actual laws, but about this deep-seated feeling, this instinct that you always have to wait for permission, that you should never really be alone. It's all about being safe, which, by extension, means you can never be truly free.
So, picture this. It's a cold morning in Paris, and Aarohi sees these young French girls. They're playing rugby, and they are absolutely fearless, covered in mud, tackling each other, just free. And in that one moment, she sees everything she was taught not to be. Her own childhood just flashes before her eyes, always holding her dad's hand, never ever going out by herself. The difference is just so stark, and it really sets the stage for the challenge that's just around the corner.
So what kicks off this whole internal journey? Well, it's not some grand, epic call to adventure. Nope. It's something way more ordinary. And because of that, maybe even more terrifying. A simple request from her husband, Prakar, turns into this unwanted quest. Those are his words. They sound simple enough, right? He has meetings, she needs to go shopping. But for Aarohi, this isn't just a suggestion. It feels like a challenge has been thrown down. That phrase, go alone, just echoes with the weight of every single rule she has ever lived by. And he's insistent, not in a mean way, but in a way that says, this is important for you.
And let's be clear, her fears aren't just in her head. They're very real, and they're specific. She's already seen some of the dangers of Paris, these bracelet gangs that target tourists, a really scary incident that happened at La Chapelle. So her hesitation isn't just about breaking old habits. It's about trying to navigate a city that has already shown its intimidating side. And yet, watching those rugby girls, something inside her just clicks. The question, where is my courage, is just hanging there in the cold Paris air. And that question grows and grows until it becomes a decision. That's the moment she finally stands up from that park bench and decides to face the tram.
Each of these little actions, things a daily commuter wouldn't even think about, is a huge victory for her. The walk to the station, clutching her ticket like a parachute, that totally satisfying beep from the ticket validator. And then there's this beautiful line from the story, Paris collapsed by the window. It just perfectly captures that feeling of leaving one world behind and just hurtling towards something new, all on her own.
This is so much more than just a ride. It's a massive milestone. It's her first quiet act of rebellion, a personal declaration of independence, happening completely anonymously inside a crowded tram in Paris.
But of course, the city isn't done with her yet. Right after the triumph of that tram ride comes a brand new, terrifying trial. Her destination, La Défense, isn't some simple little station. It's this huge, confusing underground maze, and her journey is about to hit a literal dead end. So she follows the crowd, finds an exit gate, and slides her ticket in, just like she's seen her husband do a million times. But this time, the result is different. Beep! It's this harsh, almost accusing sound, and then a glaring red light. The gate stays locked. And then a machine's voice just cuts through the station noise. Ticket invalid. Invalid ticket. And just like that, panic floods in. She can hear impatient footsteps clicking behind her. She's doing something wrong. She's holding everybody up. It's that nightmare scenario. In that one moment, all her worst fears come true. She is literally trapped. There's no Prakar to come and fix it. She pulls out her phone, and of course, zero signal underground. She is completely, utterly alone, locked in by a machine in a foreign country. And this is where it gets really deep. This moment of technical failure triggers this lifelong emotional memory. She feels like a little kid again, helpless, always waiting for rescue, permission. That physical gate becomes a powerful metaphor for all the invisible gates that have shaped her past. Just as she's about to completely despair, this small act of quiet kindness happens. A security guard sees the panic on her face, understands without needing a lot of words, and just slides his own official card into the machine. Green light. The gate unlocks. There's no lecture, no fine, just a simple nod. It's this little moment of grace that proves the world can actually be kinder than her fears were telling her. So, she's finally free from the maze, and she walks into the mall. The physical test is over, but the next challenge? Well, that one's emotional. It's all about making a choice, a real tangible choice for herself, by herself. She finds a jacket she absolutely loves in a Zara. She even manages the language barrier to get the right size. And then she sees the price tag. 100 euros. It's just a number, but it represents so much more than that. This quote just captures her internal debate perfectly. In her mind, that 100 euro note isn't just money. It's the cost of months of groceries back home in India. She's not just buying a jacket, she's buying a moment of complete autonomy. And man, that exchange rate feels incredibly high.
But she does it. She hands over the money, and the feeling she gets back is described with this absolutely perfect metaphor, the Limpka feeling. If you've ever had that sharp, fizzy Indian soda, you know exactly what this means. It's not just calm happiness, it's this exhilarating, bubbly, almost shocking sensation. It's the feeling of a choice that was 100% her own.
Okay, so now she's exhausted, but she's clutching her new purchase, and she starts the journey home. The external part of the quest is done, but this tram ride back, it becomes a journey inward, a chance to really process what in the world just happened.
An internal battle starts up. You've got the old voices from her childhood creeping back in. All that pressure to be the perfect example, the weight of family honor. They're whispering that she's still that same helpless girl. But there's a new voice fighting back now. A voice that's fueled by the memory of the guard's kindness and the Zara bag in her hand. A voice that's starting to say, I can.
And all of this leads her to this incredibly profound and honestly pretty heartbreaking reflection. It's the idea that for so many people, the permission to be free finally comes, but it's long after their spirit for freedom has been slowly, quietly dismantled by society's rules.
But as she steps off that tram, she knows something has fundamentally changed. Her wings weren't broken after all. They were just hidden. And that simple shopping bag swinging at her side feels like undeniable proof. Those childhood chains didn't just rattle today. One of them actually broke. When her husband Prakar gets home, he sees the bag, he sees the jacket, and he gives her the absolute perfect validation. He doesn't say, "Oh, I'm so glad you're safe." He says, "I knew you could." He didn't push her to test her. He pushed her because he believed in her strength all along. It's just a beautiful way to close the circle. And that brings us to this final thought. Aarohi faced a literal, physical, locked gate, but it was a lifetime of invisible ones that were truly holding her back. Her story is just this stunning testament to the courage it takes to face them. And it really makes you wonder about your own life, doesn't it? How many invisible gates, built from expectations or fear or just old habits, are locking you in?